We are Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. You are welcome to land of rising sun. There is a land that is full of natural resources. Britain divided us during colonization. No, we are generous and industrious. Naturally, we endow educationally, we are loaded. Mentally, we can check our own world. Mbano gakelele, mama, papa, can go see it for because gakelele, anywhere you from, around the world. Mbano gakelele, come and see who we are. Because gakelele, ndemboa, jeno gakelele. You are welcome, mama, welcome to Biafra, it's a mono Ipob, Ipob in the city, you are welcome. Anywhere you from, around the world, come and see who we are. You are welcome. Welcome to Biafra. Biafra, we believe in quality education. We can be partners if you're ready for innovation. Makanina, he can connect it elected to be better.
of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, give birth to them, and they are Biafrans. They will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isobo. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you. By the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
Welcome, 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 fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom all over the world. I appreciate you and I thank you so much for joining me on this very broadcast tonight. Whatever your own time is, if you're on your daytime, I say good morning to you, good afternoon, and good evening from there. I appreciate everybody who has been able to join in this broadcast this evening. Wherever you are joining from, I appreciate you and I thank you for your contributions. Thank you for playing your own role by sharing the video. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all that you are doing to make sure that we continue to send out the broadcast and send informations to people that need to hear us so they can hear us. So I'm also begging you, as you have joined, kindly share the broadcast on your own platform. Share the broadcast, any platform where you belong, share the broadcast. As I'm telling you to share, I'm also sharing the broadcast to make sure it gets to everybody. As you know, in the media, every one of us, we must have to do what we get to do to make sure we get out the message. Because it is not easy. The attack we are getting on a daily basis is not easy. We are having an attack on different fronts, on different angles. The enemy is working 24/7 to make sure that we don't have our voice. But we can never allow them to take away our voice. No matter how they try, they will never succeed. Today is not a nice day. When you see the way I'm looking at my mood, you will know that today is not a bright day. It's not a bright day for any one of us. Our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, have made a statement which every one of you must have seen online about the situation of our Supreme Master Nnamdi Kanu. While we were outside here doing all we got to do to make sure that Biafra is restored, the Fulani Caliphate are busy punishing our Supreme Master Nnamdi Kanu, starving him. They are starving our Supreme Master Nnamdi Kanu, all in the name of that they cannot be able to feed him. For a very long time, without our knowledge, only recently that the information came out that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have been starved. They can't be able to feed him. They can't provide his food. It is a very painful and very hurtful thing that the supreme leader of IPOB, a man that controlled an organization that is more than 70 million, is talking about feeding in the DSS. And we heard that the family was able to provide 1 million naira for his feeding. They tried their best to put that in front. But the man controlling more than 70 million people is not just Mazen Nnamdi Kanu of his family. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is the president of Biafran people. It doesn't matter whether you take it or not, whether you like it or not. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stands as our president today. For a president of country to be starved, and all they have to give as a reason is that they cannot be able to provide his feeding, complain about the expenses are all water. Even when the court have said, let him go, you know you cannot be able to bear the cost of his feeding. You know you cannot be able to bear the cost of taking care of him and keeping him safe. And you are still holding him against his will. You are still holding him illegally. Not because you can protect him, not because you can feed him, not because you can do anything for him. The court said, let him go, and you have refused to let him go. And after refusing him go, you allow Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be going hungry on daily basis. Who knows how long this has been going on before the information leaked out? Who knows for how long this thing has been going on? Our Supreme Mazen Nnamdi Kanu being starved to the extent that the money is being contributed to feed him. If you are not outraged, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you still think the Biafra we are fighting for doesn't want it, I don't know who kind of human being you are. When you hear that very message that our supreme leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, a man that controls an organization that is more than 70 million, is being starved, that there is no money to feed him, how do you feel? What are you thinking in your head? How are you feeling? Are you still comfortable in your comfort zone? Are you still comfortable in your seat? Are you still comfortable doing what you are doing? Hearing that information that the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu of all people, could not have access to his food simply because they can't afford it. This is painful. This is the height of wickedness. Now you begin to understand the wickedness of the caliphate. You begin to, when we tell you that we are dealing with Pharaoh, we are dealing with Pharaoh, a wicked Pharaoh, who doesn't care whether you survive or you don't. They have tried to kill him in different ways. He couldn't die. Now they want to starve him to death. This is the height of wickedness. An innocent man who has been detained against his will, against international law, against the Nigerian law itself. A man that has been pronounced innocent and said, let him go. They refuse to let him go. And yet, the little thing they can provide for him, as simple as food, they have refused to provide it, and they are expecting the families, they say they don't have money to provide such. What does Mazen Nnamdi Kanu eat? What does it cost to feed Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? You don't have money to feed him, but you detain him against his will. And you have money to sponsor Boko Haram. You have money to pay ransom to Boko Haram. You have money to buy food to Boko Haram, make supplies to Boko Haram. You see why we must fight to get out of this zone. You see why it is necessary that we must get out of the zoological republic. It doesn't matter what anybody says. Now you begin to understand why they are pushing their propagandas. Now you begin to understand why Mazen Nandekano is being starved in the DSS. The kind of white lawyer is busy suing people who are standing for Mazen Nandekano. He's busy suing people who provide food for Mazen Nandekano. And he was able to receive money from the family of Mazen Nandekano for the feeding of Mazen Nandekano. This is a man who has collected ransom on different places. This is a man who has collected money from the federal government. And he is a lawyer of Mazen Nandekano. And he couldn't be able to even tell us on time. He still have the God to collect money from the family of Mazen Nandekano, 1 million naira for the feeding of Mazen Nandekano. While Mazen Nandekano feeding is on the line, you are still here suing people who will fight for Mazen Nandekano. This is the height of evil. Mazen Nandekano is starved. Before it got to the extent that his family will raise 1 million naira for his feeding, it didn't start today. They have been hiding it from us. They have been hiding it from us. They have been hiding it that Mazen Nandekano didn't start. Before you see the family raising 1 million for his feeding, they must have it must have been happening for a very long time. And where are those who are claiming to be the IPOB, whatever? Now, you know, everything that happens on daily basis begin to show it clearly that these people who call themselves Department of Saboteurs, they are never with Mazen Nandekano. It is becoming clearer. Those who are claiming that Mazen Nandekano give them information, those who are claiming that Mazen Nandekano directed them, those who are claiming that they are Mazen Nandekano is them, where are they? Where is the money that they care? What are they doing to make sure that at least Mazen Nandekano has his feeding? They were there watching, and the family of Mazen Nandekano coughed out 1 million. Mazen Nandekano is not in the DSS because of his family. Mazen Nandekano is not in DSS because of his brothers or his sisters or his children. Mazen Nandekano is in the DSS today because of Biafra, because of you and I. Mazen Nandekano is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He is in DSS today because of the Biafran people, because of you and I. And yet, you heard of his condition. You kept silent. You kept it to yourself. It was his family that ran to bring out 1 million naira for his feeding. That is the height of wickedness. Now you begin to understand. When you see us do what we do, now you begin to understand. When you see our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, insisting that Biafra must come, that it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter your blackmail, 2023, it is compulsory, mandatory that we must leave the Zoological Republic by fire, by force. We are not seeking for any permission from anybody. We are just telling you. We are just telling you that we are going to walk out of the Zoological Republic in 2023. We are not taking any permission from anybody. Just letting you know. Every blessed day you wake up, you see what is happening in the media. You begin to realize. You begin to see it clearer that these people that have surrounded Mazen Nandekano for a very long time are the cause of his problem. They has been the people holding the Biafran people down, making sure that the Biafra doesn't come. When you see them speak about it, you think it's a joke. Today, when you see the things that are playing out, you begin to wonder. The same people pushing all manner of blackmail and propaganda against Master Simon Ekpa. And that same man whom they are pushing blackmail against, saying that he's holding Mazen Nandekano, that same man who they claim is the Mandela has volunteered that the autopiloted IPOB will make a provision of 2 million naira every month for the feeding of Mazen Nandekano. and we are up to the task. It doesn't matter what it takes. The autopiloted IPOB, we provide 2 million naira for a freedom of Mazen Nandekan every month. Where are the Department of Saboteurs? What are they doing? Where are the Department of Saboteurs? Where are those who claim that they were there when Mazen Nandekan, they were the one holding tape for Mazen Nandekan and holding pen for him when he was writing IPOB? Where are those who claim that they want Biafra? They are nowhere to be found. Today, the spokesman of Biafra is the person taking action. You don't just hear it. The difference between us and them is that we don't just complain. We don't just hear a thing and sit down and complain. No. Time for complain and cry has gone. That is the difference between the autopiloted IPOB and this Department of Saboteurs. We don't hear a thing and we keep silent. We take action. And after getting that information, our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, have declared that the autopiloted IPOB will provide 2 million naira for Mazen Nandekan feeding by fire, by force. It doesn't matter what it takes. No matter what, we will make the provision. And we are equal to the tax. If Biafran people cannot be able to feed Mazen Nandekan, it is a shame. A shame. If the leader of more than 70 million people, the richest tribe we have in the zoo, their leader is being held captive and people are talking about his feeding. What a shame. What a shame. You see how they have brought, you see the kind of mud they are rubbing to our face. You see the kind of thing the caliphate is doing. You see the kind of attitude they are displaying. You see the arrogance of the caliphate. Even when they have disobeyed the law said, let him go. You cannot sponsor his feeding. You cannot take care of him, and you cannot let him go. Now you begin to understand why our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, said that we will take extraordinary measure to release Mazen Nandekan. That it will take extraordinary measure to release Mazen Nandekan. And that is why any place you are as a Biafran, you better wake up if you're sleeping. You better wake up. The stage is set. The stage is very set and ripe for actions to take place. Do not be left behind. That's all I got to tell you. Today, when you go to media, the attack from east, west, north, and south, every attack is on Mazen Simon Ekpa. What crime has Mazen Simon Ekpa committed? Nothing. Petition against Mazen Simon Ekpa for his arrest. Some call it Interpol, some doing this. Even some of them have graduated the of pushing propaganda. You go to media, you see people who are saying that Interpol, you have already arrested Mazen Simon Ekpa. That is how low they can go. That is how desperate and low they can go. A newspaper house writing that Mazen Simon Ekpa has been arrested by Interpol. People wake up and they form news and begin to carry it about, and people are believing them. Our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, who just issued, he has made 2 videos today, issuing statement, mainly the very last one he made on the condition of Mazen Nandekan. And somebody somewhere is there pushing, giving wrong information, pushing blackmail and propaganda. And you think it is your propaganda that's going to stop Mazen Simon Ekpa. You think that Simon Ekpa is somebody you can be able to push around with propaganda. You have been doing this thing for more than a year now. For more than a year, the only thing you have on the table is propaganda against Simon Ekpa. All manner of attack, all manner of assassination. 500,000 Iraqs against one man, against one small organization, and yet they could not achieve nothing. They achieved nothing. Instead, that man is growing wide, is growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, increasing in all angles, increasing in all ramifications. The more you blackmail him, the more you demonize him, the more he grows stronger. And you think it's ordinary. It's only by the grace of Chukwu Okikabiyama. It's only something that the hand of Chukwu Okikabiyama is in anything that hand of Chukwuka, that is the only thing that can survive the kind of attack Mazi Simon Ekpa survive. If Chukwuka, if the hand of Chukwuka is not upon him, it would have been the will of the enemy would have happened. It would have been a different story. But I can assure you, Mazi Simon Ekpa is building on a strong foundation. Mazi Simon Ekpa is building on a strong foundation, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Through the grace of Chukwuka, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. Biafra is coming. Biafra is coming with speed. And every single one of them that is fighting against Biafra, water. They are going to get it, water. It doesn't matter. You can't escape it. As long as you are standing against Biafra, as long as you are standing on the way of Biafra, you cannot escape the water. You can never. As for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we are up to the task. Anything that is going to keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu safe, we will do that. And Chukwuka will do his part. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be safe and sound. His feeding will be taken care of by Autopiloted Ipob. But I want to bring it to your notice that it is becoming clearer. It is becoming very, very clear that these demons that surround Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will not leave any stone unturned to make sure that they take the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But Chukwuka will not allow them. They started by removing his name in the registration of Ipob. When they removed his name, Mazi Simon Ekpa screamed about it. He told the public. And they began to run around. And they began to use different kind of language to change it. When we are there talking about it, and they thought that one have come down forgotten. They went and scrapped Ipob completely. Ipob dissolved. They planned and dissolved Ipob. Today, Ipob is dissolved. And you still see them parading themselves as one thing or the other, talking trash in all. See some of their clowns still presenting themselves as talking about. Today, there is only one thing standing. The only thing standing today for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the autopiloted Ipob, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us that they are indestructible. That Ipob that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told you that they are consistency personified. They are the ones standing under the spokesmanship of Mazi Simon Ekpa and on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is nothing anybody can do about that. There is nothing you can do about that. It is either you are in or you are out. Biafra will come. The earlier you begin to get that into your skull, the better for you. Biafra, no man born of a woman can stop the coming of Biafra. It doesn't matter your blackmail, your propaganda, your evil agenda. You cannot, I say you cannot stop the coming of Biafra. Continue to push your blackmail and propaganda. Continue. You don't have right over the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be freed. And we are going to make sure that he's been freed. That is why we are doing extraordinary things. And more things are coming. You have had the order given by the spokesperson of Biafra. You know, initially we are not taking him serious. Some people who thought that he was joking. Some people think he was joking. But now, it has become very, very clear. If you are human, if you still you are human and you have conscience in you, and you don't know, you are not seeing clearly what is happening today, sorry. I say sorry to you. If you are one of those still standing in the fence, sitting in the fence, I say sorry to you. I say sorry to you. We can't help you. Chukwuka have done the whole thing he has to do for you and I. To let us know the truth, to let us know our left from right, to let us know what is right to do. The coming of Biafra is not by choice. It is compulsory. It is mandatory. It is the mandate of Chukwuka, not our mandate. It is not we. It is not Mazi Simon Ekpa. This is a mandate of Chukwuka given to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to pronounce. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu anointed Mazi Simon Ekpa to push ahead until this actualized. And today, because they were sleeping initially, they thought that holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was going to stop it. And all this while, Mazi Simon Ekpa have announced himself, even while Mazen Nandekan was still with us. Before Mazen Nandekan was kidnapped, Mazen Simon Ekpa announced himself as the disciple of Mazen Nandekan on Biafra restoration. He announced himself, disciple of Mazen Nandekan on Biafra restoration. He says it openly. He announced it before Mazen Nandekan was kidnapped. He began to answer a disciple. And Mazen Nandekan never told him one day, stop answering my disciple. And when Mazen Nandekan was kidnapped, he remembered his disciple. It is that his disciple that he remembered. He told him, go and speak to my people. Because he knows he has already passed the mantle and the anointing is on him. So many things that were done in secret, which we are not aware, today is coming to the open. People now are testifying. They are testifying about the anointing of Simon Ekpa to carry on. People are testifying on different angles. But the enemy cannot have it. The Fulani Janjaweed didn't see it coming. Today, go to their media. Every media house today is talking about the Biafra restoration. Every media house today is talking about Master Simon Ekpa. And he said it. Master Simon Ekpa said, time will come when they will report about us. They are going to report us. Today, they cannot complete their news today without talking about Master Simon Ekpa, Master Nandekan, and the Biafra. They can't do it. You cannot make your news, their news today cannot be complete without mentioning Master Nandekan and Simon Ekpa and the Biafra people. That is how formidable we are. Even in an electionary period, a time of election, even in the station of the person who is contesting as a president, his station could not hold back. TVC could not hold back to present Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nandekan, the Biafra issue. You can run, but you can't hide. Once Chukwu Okikabama is leading, success is sure. That is why when I'm talking about Biafra, I talk about Biafra with all my strength, with all my life, with all my power, with everything I am. I speak about it because I know it is coming. I know and I know and I know and I know. It is coming. Faster than you and I expect. It is going to come faster than you and I expect. Mazen Nandekan, I always remember the word of Mazen Nandekan. He said it. That Biafra is going to come in such a way that no man is going to take glory of it. It's not because of what you do. It's not because of what I do. It is not left for us, left for our own filthiness and wickedness and all that. It will not come. But because Chukwu Okikabama have seen our cry. Chukwu Okikabama have heard the cry and the innocent blood that are crying on him on a daily basis. Chukwu Okikabama have heard the tears of the innocent blood coming to him on his throne on a daily basis. And he has risen and said, enough is enough. That is why Biafra must come. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter your propaganda. It cannot fly. If you don't know that Biafra is not, when you see the kind of attack that is coming today to the autopiloted Ipob, if you see the attack that is coming to Master Simon Ekpa, you will now realize that definitely something is about to happen. It is only when something is about to happen that you can get such a reaction. Such a reaction doesn't just come. The reaction you get today, it doesn't just emanate from anywhere. It is because something is about to happen. That is why the whole media house is focused on one man. The clown that called himself Brekeden. I still saw one of his video again. One of his video where he was trying to demonize King Sarowiwa. You see, that is why when we are telling people, when we tell people about the criminality of Northerners, they will think it's a joke. These people that call themselves One Nigeria, they are benefiting from the evil of that One Nigeria. It is this one Nigeria that is making that very station strive. It is one Nigeria that is making that ordinary president or whatever they call him. That is what is ordinary man. That is what is making him relevant. And he will never be alive to see one Nigeria go away. I saw Showere in his platform. When Showere was telling him about the killing of Sarowiwa, people were involved. Do you know that this criminal who called himself Ordinary Ahmed was supporting the killing of Sarowiwa? He was demonizing Sarowiwa, a man that was fighting for his people because of the their resources. A man that was trying to protect his own people. A freedom fighter whom the Fulanese murdered and killed. That idiot in the Brekete family was supporting Sarawiwa. On live television, he was challenging Showore. On live television, demonizing King Sarawiwa. And when you see him parade himself, you call him a human rights activist. What human rights activist on the planet Earth will support the killing of an innocent man? A man that is standing for his own people. What kind of a human rights activist will stand on a national TV before the whole world and begin to defend the murder of an innocent man who was not given a fair hearing? What crime did Sarawiwa commit? Telling them to clean up Gumiland. After the pollution, they have polluted the land, taken all their wealth, and he was trying to protect his own zone and take back their land. That is the only crime he had committed. And they killed him without any fair hearing. The whole world was aware. Today, somebody that claims to be a human rights activist was in a national TV trying to demonize Ken Sarawiwa. This is how evil these people are. Tomorrow he will parade himself as a human rights. I'm a human rights activist. I'm this. A tyrant. You have seen videos where he was slapping people that came to his studio. Slapping and beating up people that came. Don't worry. Very soon I'm going to be playing all those videos so that when I say things, I will play it for you. You will see it before your own very eyes. You know, when we say things and we don't show the videos, people will think that we're making it up. In my next program, I'm going to try to connect and show you the videos. You will see where this tyrant they call ordinary Ahmed, that have break the family, where he was beating up people in his own platform. These are the ones you saw in video. These ones are the ones that were captured on video. There are a lot of evil things that this man is doing to people. He's subjecting people to slavery in that very human rights activist, human rights radio, whatever they call him. And he claimed to be a human rights activist. Abusing people, a tyrant. The way he is commanding and removing people, if you have a contrary opinion to his own, you are gone. The same way in that very human, they call human rights whatever, he drove away a Biafra woman that led a complaint against the military. A Biafra man that led a complaint against his own military, he couldn't be able to fight it. He drove that woman away. What crime did the woman commit? Because the woman said that she had a heart of forgiveness. That when somebody offends her, if she has no option, she can forgive. That she cannot live with the grudges, that you will forgive. Then he says that in his own religion, that they don't forgive. And because this Biafran woman is a Christian and she has the spirit of forgiveness, for that, he is not going to pursue her own case again. And he drove her away from his studio. The video is still out there. He drove the woman simply because this woman said, I have the heart of forgiveness. I can forgive if there is need to forgive. If the person repents, I will forgive. And he said, in his own religion, there is no forgiveness. You don't forgive. You must take vengeance. That was the excuse he used to drive away that Biafran woman who came there for rescue. And he intentionally drove that woman away because he cannot do anything to rescue that woman from the military operation. He can't rescue that woman. The woman that was working in the military, and they abused her sexually, molested her, drove her away without pension and anything. The same thing they are doing to so many Biafrans who are serving in the military, both men and women, more especially women. There was another one that was carried on Arise TV. A Biafran woman that was abused in the military. Abused. And the woman wanted to resign. They refused to allow her to resign. The woman signed in for voluntary resignation. They refused her from resigning. A Biafran woman. This is what is facing our Biafran people who are going to military, who are in the military and in the police, all forces. This is how they are being oppressed. And that is why we are calling every Biafran that is in the Nigerian military. I don't know what you are still waiting for. I don't know what you're waiting for. If you are from Biafran land and you are still in the military, I don't know what you're waiting for. Okay, you're waiting until when your head is off. That's what you're waiting. I don't know what you're waiting for. We are not wanted here. Time has come. Time has come when we have to save ourselves from these idiots. The time has come. There is no more time. And I thank you for the kind of person he gave us. Master Simon Ekpa is not ready to wait for you. Even Master Nanigan himself have announced it before now that we cannot wait for you. It doesn't matter who you are. If you like, go and build your castle in the north. We can't wait for you. And we cannot, because of any single one man,
sell our birthright. No, it cannot happen. We cannot, because of one single man, allow the Biafran children to be suffering. We cannot enslave our generation because of one idiot. Never. Wherever you are today as a Biafran, if you are from the old southeastern region today, begin to prepare yourself. Begin to prepare yourself. Begin to prepare. If you know what you will do to prepare yourself to get out of the zoo, begin to do it. If you are serving in any office in the zoo and you are a genuine Biafra, deep down in you know that Biafran blood is flowing in your brain, prepare yourself for the worst. Prepare yourself for the worst. If you cannot be able to fight for the inside, please tender your resignation now. Tender your resignation now. Run for your life now. You call it a joke. Well, it is always the case. There is always people who go out the later way. We will always warn you when the trouble is coming. That was why Mazen Nandekano was warning. Mazen Nandekano began to shout and shout, they are coming, they are coming, they are coming, they are coming, they are coming. Since 2011, Mazen Nandekano is shouting, they are coming, they are coming, they are coming. They called him a madman. They said he's a troublemaker. They say he doesn't know what he's talking. That is how you are always being warned. But at the end of the day, you come late. Today, those idiots who Mazen Nandekano spoke to and they refuse to listen. Today, you see them, every one of them, they are now seeing Mazen Nandekano as an angel. They are now, they have now finally realized Mazen Nandekano, oh, he was the one who, these people who said that Mazen Nandekano was not doing it well, and they came against him. Mazen Nandekano went to the US and said, fund your people, give me arms to defend the land. They called him a madman. Today, all of a sudden, you see them coming online to talk about Mazen Nandekano. That Mazen Nandekano was doing it well. Today, their attack now have been directed out to Mazen Simon Ekpa. Today, it is Mazen Simon Ekpa that is not doing it well. Today, it is Mazen Simon Ekpa that is not doing it well. That Mazen Nandekano, whom they condemned, today he is now not doing it well. They come and tell us, Master Simon Ekpa is taking laws into our hand. You sign petition against Master Simon Ekpa. All of them have ganged up today against Master Simon Ekpa. And now they try to shift themselves to not to deceive the Biafran people. They deceive Biafran people. They drag Master Nandekano close and they push Master Simon Ekpa away. You cannot separate Master Simon Ekpa from Master Nandekano. The only man that has the right to separate Master Nandekano from Master Simon Ekpa is Master Nandekano himself. The only person that can create that demarcation, who has the power and authority to remove Mazen Simon Ekpa from himself, is Mazen Nandekano. Only his voice and speech. Only his voice can be able to remove it, do that. Nobody else. Until then, you wait forever. Because the spiritual son of Mazen Nandekano is in charge. He's just at the same time as Mazen Nandekano. And when Mazen Simon Ekpa have been shouting it from the time Mazen Nandekano was kidnapped, even before that, that he goes into the heart of Mazen Nandekano to take information and give to Biafran people. They call it a bluff. Today, I can swear to you and tell you that every single thing that Mazen Simon Ekpa is doing, every single step he has taken, those are what Mazen Nandekano would have done if it is with us. Even more. Every single thing you see, every step you see Mazen Simon Ekpa take today, those are the steps Mazen Nandekano would have taken if he was judged today. There is no doubt about it. No single doubt about it. Whatever you see our spokesperson Mazen Simon Ekpa doing today, that is exactly what Mazen Nandekano would have done if he is before us today. And the earlier you begin to get that into your head, the better for you. The earlier you begin to understand that your blackmail and propaganda cannot fly. You can write your petition to hell. Write your petition to hell. It cannot fly. It can't fly. Who are you writing to? Who are you writing to? These same people today who are writing petition, they were all together. They couldn't write a petition when they saw their people being butchered in Enugu State. You saw your people. You saw mothers. A pregnant woman's stomach was opened and child brought out. You saw people being massacred in Enugu State. You saw blood flowing in Enugu State. They couldn't write a petition. These people have not been able to rise. They have not been able to gather people up to write a petition against the terrorist government terrorist government that have held them captive. They are not able to do that. These people have not been able to identify the criminals, evil, the Fulani Janjaweed have taken over the whole southeast. They are not able to petition the government about that. But they were too quick to petition Master Simon Ekpa, who is making a move to open the gateway of Biafra wide for us to enter. You are fighting against a man who is opening the gate of Biafra for us to enter in peace. You are fighting against him because of 5 days sit at home. 5 days sit at home that was meant to create awareness for Biafran people. 5 days sit at home that was meant to call the attention of the world. Because of your political interest, because of your criminal and evil Peter Obi political interest, that is why you are attacking Master Simon Ekpa. We didn't start saying no election today. Remember? We didn't even know that Peter Obi will appear before we begin to talk about no election. Some of you are still ignorant. Some of you are so heartless and wicked and stupid. No election was pronounced, even when we didn't know that Peter Obi is going to be around. No one of us knew that Peter Obi will contest. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu put a stamp on this very no election before even Peter Obi began to dream of coming out. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said it. If you are a Biafran and you talk about election, and that Agwo is going to blind every single one of them. Every single one of them following Peter Obi, that Agwo will blind all of them. If you are a supporter of Peter Obi in any way, if you are any supporter of any politician, and you are from Biafran land, and you are supporting any politician, that cause of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will follow you all the days of your life. That cause of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will follow you all the days of your life. We didn't know that he was coming. Even when Mazen Simon Ekpa began to pronounce the no election, we didn't know that this clown called Peter Obi is going to come. We didn't know they're going to use him to play their card. We never knew. We didn't know that they would put Peter Obi in the front to deceive us. We didn't know. So you think it's about Peter Obi? No political interest is greater than Biafra. No political interest can be compared to the freedom of the Biafran people. We cannot trade our freedom. We cannot trade the accusation of Biafra for any goddamn thing you talk about. We can't. We cannot trade it for anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the offer you put on the table. It doesn't matter. No matter the offer you put on the table, we cannot trade Biafra for it. Remember when the pastor was telling them to dialogue? When the pastor was shouting and telling them, dialogue now. Dialogue now. Dialogue now. A time will come when you will come down to dialogue and stone will be thrown on you. We have gone to that time. We have reached to the land of no return. There's nothing anybody can do about it. There is nothing you can. Even our spiritual Mazen Nnamdi Kanu knows very well the stage we are. And wherever Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, he will be glad and happy that he has really a disciple. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be happy that he has a disciple. He has a disciple. If not for the disciple of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, all these animals, criminals everywhere, all these criminals, they have already sold out. They have already moved on. They have moved on. What else is remaining? What else is remaining? They have moved on. They have destroyed the ESN, killed a lot of commanders before the Master Simon Ekpa rescued the ESN. Today they have destroyed the IPOB, scrapped the name IPOB from British company. So what else? What else do they have? They got nothing to lose. They have destroyed everything completely. Today, the only man standing is Master Simon Ekpa. And if you don't understand Autopilot, as they have removed the name, today Autopilot is standing. IPOB, the IPOB that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu talked about, today is autopiloted by Chukwu Okeke himself. It is not by registration. Hear me and hear me well. Autopilot, IPOB is no longer functioning by registration or whatever. IPOB today is in the hand of Chukwu Okeke, functioning autopilotedly If you don't understand autopilot, begin to understand it today. Everything you see today happening for the actualization of Biafra is autopiloted. The same thing with the protest you see our women doing in Biafra land. Those women you see there making a protest, they are autopiloted, fully autopiloted. It is only those that are autopiloted that are active today. They don't act today. That is why I tell you, if you think Autopilot is the organization where you go and write your name and register, you are deceiving yourself. Autopilot is not like the criminal organization they have before. It's not like the clique they formed before you go, you register. Before you say a word, they ask you, are you a registered member? Did you take an oath? Are you this and you that? That is not what it is about. In the era that we're in, Chukwuoka Kabiama himself have taken charge of the restoration of Biafra, and he is choosing men by himself. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter your color. It doesn't matter your level of education. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. Chukwuoka Kabiama will give you your own assignment. It is left for you to pick up the assignment. If you refuse, he will give to someone else. If you refuse, he will give to someone else, because Biafra is a must. It must come. It doesn't need your help. It doesn't need to beg you. The autopilot you are hearing about today, Chukwuoka Kabiama is in charge. That is what autopilot means. I say it and I say it every time. In case you don't understand it, you begin to hear it. Autopilot is not an organization. Stop looking for a place you go and register and write your name. That is autopilot. Chukwuoka Kabiama is the one that is in charge today, making things to happen. When you see our women protesting in Biafra land, they are fully autopiloted. There are a lot of people doing things in the court, fully autopiloted. There are people who are volunteering their own life for comrade concern to make sure that the Biafra land is safe, autopiloted. There are people who are on the media speaking even without anybody calling them, mentioning them. People defending Biafra on their own, defending Master Simon Ekpa and speaking on his behalf. Autopiloted. We don't need to go and pay. We are not like those who go and pay 500,000 Irat. 500,000 failed Irat. 1.5 years, they couldn't be able to bring any result until their leader was crushed. When we talk about the autopilot, Chukwuoka Kabiama by himself is in charge. And that was how the prophecy was given. In case for people who are new. If you are new, you are just hearing about it. Maybe you didn't come at this time. You didn't join it on time. For those who didn't join on time, I will still remind you. When Master Simon Ekpa made some autopilot, it was a prophecy. It came as a prophecy and advice. It didn't come as a name. It didn't come as a name. Master Simon Ekpa, in that speech, in that broker, he said, a time will come when Biafran people will be acting on their own to make things happen positively to the actualization of Biafra. That people will be acting in autopilot. Everybody will be on autopilot. People will be doing things on their own. And he asked the Department of Sabotua then to pray and ask Chukwuoka Kabiama to give them the knowledge and wisdom to be able to manage that time when it comes. That was the revelation. That was how it came. It was an advice to the Department of Sabotua. Prepare yourself for the time of autopilot. That time is coming. A time will come when people will be autopilotedly doing things to actualize Biafra. And whatever they do is going to favor Biafra. That was the revelation. That they should pray that Chukwuoka Kabiama should give them the wisdom to be able to coordinate people that time to the positive side. But did they do it? They didn't do it. Instead, they were busy making themselves relevant. They were busy exalting themselves. They were busy commanding and controlling. They were busy making themselves the Alpha and Omega. They were busy making themselves the Tokanadu. But while they were busy doing that, our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, was busy winning the heart of Biafrans by listening to them, by doing what they want, by coming closer to them, by allowing them closer to himself. While the other Department of Sabotua, we are busy commanding and controlling. They were busy telling us who is in charge and who is not in charge. They were busy pushing propaganda and blackmail. And Biafrans, we are reading between the lines. Because Biafran people are smart people. We don't just follow. That is one thing with Biafran. We don't just follow. But once you are able to convince Biafrans, they will put their life on the line for you. Once you are able to convince Biafran people, they will put their life on the line for you. They don't care. They don't give a damn. As long as you can convince them. But for you to convince a Biafran people person, you go extra mile. You have to go extra mile to convince a Biafran man or woman. And today, here are we. Here are we. The remaining things that are hidden are now exposed. Today, you see every one of them. They have been completely exposed. They were there. Provision for the feeding of Mazen Nagan, they couldn't make it. It was the family of Mazen Nagan that provided 1 million. And they were there. The one that claimed to be the Karawite wig wearer, the Karawite wig wearer was still there. Even after collecting benefit from the government, still he could not be able to do anything. Instead, he is busy charging Mazen Nagan for more offense. That Karawite lawyer is busy presenting more evidence against Mazen Nagan. Because you can't tell me no sane person, no sane lawyer will be taking Simon Ekpa to court if you are defending Mazen Nagan. There is no sane person that will be defending Mazen Nagan at the same time taking Simon Ekpa to court. How can you be defending the leader and you are taking his disciple to court? How does it work? Conflict of interest. And let me tell you, it is not that this man doesn't know what he's doing. He has seen that this is the only way for him to bring evidence against Mazen Nagan. They have tried to get the evidence in the street. They could not get it in the street. They have tried to get evidence in the street. They couldn't get it. They tried to use evidence during the lockdown. They were busted. You saw a military man shot somebody. In a video that we saw, APC car was shot and somebody was killed. A military man, a man with full uniform, a full military uniform, was there. They want to use it to put out and say that Autopiloted Ipob, that they killed people. They were searching for evidence from everywhere. Searching for evidence, but they couldn't get evidence. When they see that they have failed on that direction, what do? They now come back. When they come back now, the criminal Karawite man, the criminal Karawite lawyer now went by his own self and took evidence to the government against Mazen Nagan. By his own self, he sat down and wrote evidence, accusations against Mazen Nagan by his own self. Somebody that's supposed to defend Mazen Nagan. This is somebody who is defending who the court have granted freedom, and the court refused to leave him. The court granted him freedom, and the government refused to leave him. Instead of him pursuing that, he went and began to write a petition. Begin to write another offense against Mazen Nagan. That is what he thought. He thought he was writing for Simon Ekpa. How can you be writing against Simon Ekpa, charging against Simon Ekpa, who is in Finland, who is not a citizen of Nigeria, a Finnish citizen, and you're suing him in High Court, the same place Mazen Nagan is? If you don't have a ulterior motive, why don't you go to Finland and sue him? If you can go to Finland, why don't you take a lawyer or go to ICC, International Court? Why? Are you so dumb that you don't know that is what you're supposed to do? Of course he knows. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. After he has seen that they cannot be able to get any evidence against Mazen Nagan on the street to hold him down, they have searched to get evidence to hold Mazen Nagan down. They couldn't find the evidence on the street. Now, this kind of white man sat in his office and he began to write accusations against Mazen Nagan. After writing the accusations, he went and submitted to the High Court. And he told us he has sued Master Simon Ekpa. How is such a suit of Simon Ekpa, the disciple of Mazen Nagan, somebody who became a disciple while Mazen Nagan was with us? And Mazen Nagan never one day told us that this man is no longer my disciple. Mazen Nagan has never one day uttered a speech and say, tell Mazen Simon Ekpa to stop broadcasting. Even with all their criminality and evil information, there has never been any one day any lawyer came out and said that Mazen Nandekano say you should stop calling my name, you should stop addressing IPOB, you should stop using my name, you should stop talking, go your own way and stop answering my disciple. You see the idiot, that's one of the clan, one of those 500 Irans, they are all dumb. That's what dumb people. One of the 500 Irans came on her platform. She came on her platform and she's claiming that Mazen Nandekano gave the Karawak lawyer order to go and sue Mazen Simon Ekpa. They think that Mazen Nandekano is as dumb as they are. These are the kind of idiots they brought, they paid. People they are paying their house rent, giving them a recharge card. That clan was on her platform. On her platform, telling people that are listening to her that Mazen Nandekano sent that Karawak lawyer to go and sue Mazen Simon Ekpa. A blatant lie. She thought that Mazen Nandekano is as dumb as her. Mazen Nandekano is very smart. Very, very smart, more than you can ever imagine. I don't blame them because they have already said that Mazen Nandekano is mentally sick. Their lawyer think that Mazen Nandekano is mentally sick. That's why they can do anything they like. That is why they can parade lies and think that people believe. Mazen Nandekano is very intelligent. That if he wants to participate in the suit of Mazen Simon Ekpa, if he's aware and he permits the suit of Mazen Simon Ekpa, he will first of all denounce Mazen Simon Ekpa as his disciple. He will first of all denounce Mazen Simon Ekpa because he confirmed Mazen Simon Ekpa as his own disciple. He, with his own mouth, confirmed it. Even his own lawyer confirmed it. Before ever Mazen Nandekano will support anything against Mazen Simon Ekpa, he will first of all deny him. And you will tell me maybe he's in captivity. How can you do that? The same way they have been bringing message to you and say Mazen Nandekano said, Mazen Nandekano will pass it to them and tell other lawyers to confirm. Just the same way he confirmed the issue of the Germany man he told them to replace. The same way. Mazen Nandekano is very intelligent. He knows how to do things. He knows. But those idiots are peddling lies. Deceiving people they can deceive. And they're telling them that, Mazen Nandekano permitted the suit. Animals. Clowns everywhere. Insensitive people. You think that Mazen Nandekano is as dumb as you are? Mazen Simon Ekpa have not even done half of Mazen Nandekano have done when it comes to those kind of rubbish. He has not even done enough. Mazen Simon Ekpa have not even done anything that will warrant any of those nonsense people are writing. I was assuming that Mazen Nandekano, who instituted the sit at home, have been calling for sit at home several times. And each time we sit at home is being called, this is same zoological republic will come out and they will take the life of people. It's a template they play all the time. And then whenever they play it, Chukwu Okikabem will expose them. They don't escape it. But because of their wickedness, because they feel that they are, because of the lawlessness of the land, they get away with anything they do. They don't care. Because they know they will always get away with anything they do. That is why they don't care. They don't care about you. The same script, they will play it over and over and over again. They play the same script against the Shia people. The Shiites came out to protest. They opened fire and they killed many of them. They demonized them, called them different kind of. The video is still out there. People that came out for NSAS, for their so-called One Nigeria, people came out with their flags, singing like that. They opened fire on them. On broad daylight, everybody saw it. They opened fire on them in Lagos. In Abuja, you saw them where they used the government official car to bring hoodlums. In Abuja, you saw it. Hoodlums were carried. The video is still on social media. Hoodlums were dropped by security officers and given machete to go and destroy properties. To go and kill people, destroy their properties and take life. You have seen it play out in several occasions. And all of a sudden, you still come out and you want to use that same style. It's still what they play it over and over again. And you think that you can deceive the world. You think all of a sudden that the world will become as dumb as you, that is in the Zoological Republic. I have told you, the world doesn't work with your pity party. No. The world is not working with your sentiment. No. The world works through interest and fact. The world works with interest and fact. That is how the world operates. You cannot just come out of pity. You want to say so that the people will pity you, so that no, they work with fact, and interest. They will consider their own interest, and they will know your own interest. What is your interest on what you are talking about? Then they will dig into the facts to know how factual what you are saying is before any action will be taken. It is not like the zoological republic where you have lawless, in Africa where you have lawless situation. In Africa, where you will just call a government and say you want you to kidnap this person, and they will go ahead, they will ask you for money, you pay money, and they kidnap the person and give to you. It doesn't work like that in the West. It is only in Africa where you put a phone call for kidnap, or they will ask you how much are you going to pay, and they will execute the evil. The African government are ready to execute evil at any time. It doesn't matter who, even something that is against their own interest, against the interest of their people, they will collect money and execute it. That is Africa for you. But in the West, it doesn't work that way. In the West, before they listen to you, your nonsense, they will consider their own interest. What is your own interest in what you're saying? And then they will look at the fact. And that was why Mazen Nandekan was able to be in the United Kingdom for more than a decade, preaching the gospel of Biafra. The awareness of Biafra was created in the United Kingdom. He was never invited one day or arrested one day. Nobody held him one day for any questioning. We saw him broadcast on daily basis. Nobody called him attention. Nobody arrested him. And he was passing the message accurately because he was saying factual things. He was speaking the truth for the interest of his own people. Even the United Kingdom have their own interests, but they cannot oppress him because human rights is just gives him the right to fight for his own people. He has the right to speak up for his own people. He has the right to fight for independence. He has the right to fight for self-determination. This is a natural right of every human being. Natural right of every human being, which cannot be denied, to fight for freedom. Whenever you have opportunity to fight for it, you look for it and you ask for it. Thank you so much, Anthony. Great. Thank you, Anthony, for your support. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. May Chukwu replenish you. The zoo is panicking. Biafra, we must get. Of course, we must get Biafra. It doesn't matter their propaganda and their blackmail. We must get Biafra. Let them keep on blackmailing. Let them keep on sending their... It is done already, my brother. It is signed and sealed. They can't stop it. They can't stop it. Let them cry and cry blood. They cannot stop the coming of Biafra. It is signed and sealed. Who says a thing and it comes to pass? Who? Who is that person that will say a thing and it comes to pass? It's only Chukwu Okakabiama. Only Chukwu Okakabiama will say a thing and it comes to pass. And he has said it, that the appointed time has come. He made the pronouncement through Mazen Nandekan. And today, the disciple of Mazen Nandekan is building on that same foundation. There is nothing any man can do about that. There's nothing anybody can do about that. Biafra will definitely come. All we have to do is to prepare ourselves. Begin to ask yourself the question. What is your role? What role are you playing? What role are you playing today? What role are you playing? Because I tell you, every single one of us have a role to play. Every Biafran have a role to play. You have a role to play. I have a role to play. Every single one of us, we have a role to play. Ask yourself, what is your own role? Are you playing the role you're supposed to play? Are you doing your own part? I can categorically tell you that Mazen Nandekan have done his part. Mazen Nandekan has done his own part of creating awareness and uniting all the Biafran people to begin to speak in one voice. Mazen Nandekan have done a great job. He has done his own part and still putting his life on the line for you and I. Today, Mazen Simon Ekpa is holding the banner, moving forward, unshaken, with the mandate of Biafra. Moving ahead. And no man can stop it. Opening one page to the other, you know where we are today. Every one of you watching, you know where we are. If in case you don't know, today, the order has been given that every banner of politicians in Biafra land must be taken out. Every banner of the politicians must be taken out from Biafra land. No banner must be seen anywhere. Wherever you see the banner of the politician, you replace it with the banner of referendum. What we want to see in Biafra land is the banner of referendum for Biafra. The only thing that can be witnessed in Biafra in 2023 is referendum and not election. You know, when we are talking about it, they thought it was a joke. It is not a joke. Every place, every street, every place in Biafra land have to be littered with the banner of referendum. And the time has come. If they like, let them cry blood. You have not started crying, no. They have not even seen anything yet. Wait. It's only the first day. Only sit at home, 5 days sit at home, and you are all shouting and crying. Oh, this, and that. Writing petition. You will write petition until you get tired. You started too early. And that is one thing with them. You started too early. You will write petition until you get tired of writing. You will make calls until you get tired of calling. You see the clowns that made their calls. You see how foolish they looked? The ones that made the call that you saw online that went and showed you that they made a call, they called embassy, they called. You saw how stupid they looked. People you respected, you thought that they have something to say. People that some of you respect. That idiot in Abuja, that clown in Abuja, that tyrant in Abuja, who is operating one studio that says he's a human rights activist. That tyrant, you saw the call he made, how stupid he looked. And one thing is that you can't shame the shameless, because if he has some little shame, he go back and watch what he did on national TV. He should go back and watch what he did before the whole war and think if anybody can take him serious anymore. Master Simon Ekpa have warned, don't fight me. Don't fight me. If you fight me, that is your end. Any day you open your mouth, you begin to talk against me, you are finished, you are gone. And they think it's a joke. It doesn't matter how connected you are. It doesn't matter how big your platform is. It doesn't matter who you are. Even if you like be the biggest radio house, be the biggest television house in the world. As long as you begin to propagate evil against the Ipob, against Master Simon Ekpa, against Biafra, you are gone. In this era that we're in, as soon as you open your mouth to propagate evil against the Biafran people, you are gone. Master Simon Ekpa laid that course, and you think it's a joke. People who are pure, a man that is pure at heart, whatever they say happens. A man that is pure at heart, whatever he says, will sign it and honor it. That is why you see Master Simon Ekpa, you must tread with care when you are dealing with him. You must tread with care. A man that will stand in his own platform and take an oath and tell you, if I am not doing the right thing, if I have done evil, let every of your evil materialize on me. But if I have not done it, a man that will stand on his platform, this is the only prayer he prays. He doesn't pray for you to die. He doesn't pray for you to do. His prayer is just a normal prayer that if I have done this, let what you have done work for you. But if I have not done it, let everything you have done work against you. A simple prayer. He's not going to make any charm or juju for you or attack you. That simple prayer. You will kill yourself by your own self. You commit suicide by your own self. And up to today, people don't learn. People don't learn out of their jealousy, envy. They don't learn. Because if they learn, at this stage in time, before you open your mouth to speak against Biafra or speak against Master Simon Ekpa, you will check yourself round and round. You will watch your word. If they learn, check everybody who has stood against him. Go and look at them. Just go back and look at them. People who have worked against him, look at their record. How are they? Within a space of 1 year plus, how are they faring? You are talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you have been hearing for a very long time. There are so many Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out there. And when you take out one, you bring the one that is much more tough than the one you take out. Even if you like. Take out Mazi Simon Ekpa today. Tomorrow you will see a much more deadly Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They never knew. They never knew that there is a Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the making. They never knew that there is another tougher person, that another person had not. They didn't know. They didn't know there's another hard nut to break. And you when you watch the interview of the PVC interview, TVC interview, you begin to wonder. Go and watch the TVC interview. I'm going to still share it on my platform here. The TVC interview, go and watch it. Where they were talking about Master Simon Ekpa. We were talking about Biafra and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Go and watch it. I love the first person that was interviewed, what he said. When he was asked about the situation of the Biafra struggle today, the first person they asked that question, he started from the root. He picked it up from the root and told them that Nigeria is a fraudulent country that cannot survive. He made it clear on their national television. But the difference between us and this people is that we don't just say it, we say it and we pursue it to end it and let everybody be free. That is the difference between us and these people. This idiot, including all this one shouting obedient, every one of them know that Nigeria will never work. They know. When you engage them privately, they will tell you, Nigeria, we know Nigeria cannot work. It will not work. But what can we do? What do we do? You don't know what to do. Allow people that have the solution. Allow the people that are going to break it up. Allow them. Why don't you allow them? Why? Why are you distracting them? Why don't you allow them? You have submitted that you don't know what to do. Then allow the people who has a solution. That is the difference between us and them. Every single one of them is calling himself activist. That's the difference between us. We don't only see the solution, we make sure we act towards the solution. We don't only see the problem, we see the solution and we apply it. The solution to the zoological republic is disintegration. That is the only way you can save life. Breaking up of Nigeria is to save life of the indigenous tribe. Not only the Biafran people, the Oduduwa people inclusive, the Middle Belt inclusive, even the Hausas, to save their life, you must have to break up the zoological republic. Once you break it up, the wake-up call will come and people will begin to reason properly. People will begin to protect their borders. Borders will not be porous anymore. Interest will die a natural death. People will begin to cultivate their own land and make it fertile by themselves. People will begin to use the mineral resources in their own area. All of a sudden, we'll begin to hear that there are mineral resources in the north. We hear that there are mineral resources in the north that are greater than oil. So what are they waiting for? All of a sudden, we begin to hear such different kinds of propaganda everywhere. They still they have oil. They have another resources that why don't you begin to think in what? Break it up. Let everybody be on their own. The Zoological Republic is not one and can never, ever be one. That one is established fact. Even the British know that the Zoological Republic is not one and can never, including your founding fathers, they knew. The people you call your founding fathers, they knew. Tafawa Balewa, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo, they knew that Nigeria will never ever be one and they cannot survive as one. They know. These are different kinds of people. The South, the Southeast region, the old Southeastern region, they are different people altogether. With the same ideology and some kind of life. Brothers and sisters existed on their own, with their own system. You come to the Oduduwa land, the Southwest, they have their own system of life. Then you go to the north, Arewa, they have their own system of life. So it is not the same. That is no way, nothing, no resemblance in any angle. We cannot be. And for you to continue to force these people together, you are only creating a monster. Forcing people together, you're only creating a monster. And in that interview, that man said it again, that who said that Nigeria is not negotiable? Who said so? Who said so? That Nigeria is not negotiable. You see, that is one thing with them. They say it and they do different things altogether, but we say it and we implement it. The negotiation of Nigeria will be done through referendum. It will be a referendum. That is how to renegotiate Nigeria. Referendum. And that's what we're asking for. Put referendum on the table. Oduduwa people want referendum. Biafrans want referendum. The Middle Belt wants referendum. Why is it that the North will begin to dictate to us? It doesn't happen that way. You preach democracy, yet you don't practice democracy. You preach democracy, yet when you see democracy, you frown at it. How can you be preaching and talking about democracy? When you see it, you frown at it. Continue to deceive yourself. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter your propaganda. Biafra will definitely come. And that is where we are. Your propaganda cannot stop Biafra. The whole world knows Master Simon Ekpa and what he's doing. Mazi Simon Ekpa is a freedom fighter. Biafran freedom fighter trying to free his own people. He has not committed any murder anywhere. He is not a criminal. He has not committed a crime. He is a politician in Sweden, a lawyer, a practicing lawyer in Sweden, a politician who has contested election over there, participated in so many things. He's not hiding. His profile is before the whole world. What he's asking for is the freedom of his own people. How is that a crime? Is that what call him a terrorist? And by the way, who in a terrorist country have the right to call somebody a terrorist? There's nobody that will be in a terrorist country and you have the audacity to open your mouth and call somebody a terrorist when you are living in a terrorist country, a government run by a terrorist. Your Asorok is being controlled by terrorists themselves. A country ravaged by terror every day. Thousands of people are dying in that country. Nobody is saying anything. The people that are doing it are not being held accountable. Instead, they're being praised and exalted. Instead, they are being praised and exalted and celebrated. And yet, you have the guts to open your dirty mouth and talk against an anointed person. May Chukwu Okike have mercy on you. I appreciate everybody who has been able to stand with me on this very program until the end. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, it's going to be the fundraising. Please try and participate in the fundraising of the ESN. Try as much as possible. We are entering into a difficult stage, a time that every angle will be touched. Make sure you play your part. Play your role. Do not run away from your responsibility. At the state that we are now, every hand must be on deck. If you know what you will do it. If you know what you go and speak, don't even wait until the day of fundraising. Just go to the website and begin to make your donation. Because the defense of Biafra land will be done with money. The tools will be bought with money. And the stage is right. There is no going back. There is no going back. Chukwu Okike is going to do what he will do. But we will do our own part. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect everybody that has participated on this very broadcast from beginning to the end. If you are watching from Biafra land, if you are watching from Biafra land, I say may Chukwu Okike guide and protect you, secure you, give you protection, build a wall of fire around you that no evil shall penetrate in your body. If you are watching from any part of the world and you're a Biafran, Chukwu Okike will keep you safe any place you are. If you are from Odudua land, Chukwu Okike will keep you safe and you will see Odudua come. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect the middle veterans. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our ESN, our men on the ground. The ESN, the volunteer force who are fighting day and night to protect Biafra land, the BNL and BNG, those armed groups that are willingly and sincerely fighting for the freedom of the people. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every one of you. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect Sunday Igboho and Professor Akintoye. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect you, secure you, and give you more wisdom to continue to ride on until the last minute. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect the Umuada. Honorable Zoka, may Chukwu Okike protect her. Protect all the Umuada who are doing marvelous work. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all the media warriors that are fighting day and night, pushing information out for the Biafran people to hear and do the right thing. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every one of us. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our spokesperson, Mazi Simon Ekpa, at this great time, at this difficult time, at this time where all hell is breaking loose, at this time where hell is fighting him. May Chukwu Okike take up the fight by himself. May Chukwu Okike build a wall of fire around Mazi Simon Ekpa that no evil force, spiritual and physically, will penetrate him. No weapon formed or fashioned against him shall prosper. May Chukwu Okike increase his wisdom, give him more mental toughness, give him more wisdom of 2,000 men to be able to take difficult decisions when the time comes. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide and protect our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Secure him, keep him safe for us, and bring him back to us very soon. No weapon formed or fashioned against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. I appreciate every one of you, and I will see you again. Please, the media, the joint broadcast of the media will be going on. Join us at the joint media broadcast so that we can continue this very gospel to send out information that you might hear. Thank you and stay blessed. See you again. Bye-bye.